Well, that was a lot of fun. Let's take a look down here on the table and see what we picked up. First thing we got at the Antique Mall was this push drill. Now I have three of these push drills, at least two of these push drills. I now have three, but I really like this one. It doesn't have the little ball bearing detent that a lot of these have. A lot of times you pull up on this and you put a special bit in there. This one's not that way. You can actually put a traditional bit in there, but instead of having 3 sections, it's got 4. But I anticipate it'll work pretty well. The other thing that I really liked about this that my other ones don't have is this little release. Right now the cap stays where it belongs, but you pull that little release and you're able to move that to the different size bits. Once you get to the size bit you want, you can dump that out, put it in, use it. It works well. So that should be good. And then once you put your bit away, you can just turn that right back and it locks back into place and doesn't go anywhere. So I really like this little push drill, although I've already got several of them. But you can see here where it says Goodell Pratt Company, Greenfield, Massachusetts, USA, patent December 28th, 1915. So that is really pretty cool. So I want to take that screw out, take the cap off, make sure everything's clean inside, oil it up real good, and we'll put this, give it a home up on the wall. So I really enjoyed finding that little tool there. That's the only tool I found at the antique store. Most of the antiques there were very in Salamanca, were very expensive. I found some other things you saw in the video, all the stuff that was there, but it was very expensive. But then I came to, as I was coming back into Pennsylvania, I came across this yard sale, and you can see the picture here of what it looked like. And when I drove by, I thought, I gotta stop and just take a look. And I found a bunch of stuff. The first thing I found was this little oiler. This little oiler I thought was pretty neat. It's got an interesting tip on it, and I don't know if that's original or somebody else put that on there, but you can see how it works. You pump it. I don't want to pump it right now. A little oil came out earlier. There's some solder or something here. I don't know if that was fixing something, if it was leaking there, or what the deal is. I might try to at least grind that smooth and polish that up. But anyways, I like these little oil cans, so I went ahead and picked it up. Then I went back into a shed and started looking around. I found this thing, and at first I didn't know what in the world it was until I started messing with it. And you guys can please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it attaches to a snake to go into the plumbing, because as you crank this, it goes one way and then goes back the other way. Now, unless something's broken in here, but it goes back one way and then back the other way. Like makes one full turn and then makes another full turn back. And so unless something's broken in here, which I've got a screw there and a screw right there, we take that cap off, and I want to clean that all out inside. But it looks like it's for a snake to snake a drain or a pipe. So anyways, I thought I'd pick it up. Most of these, in fact, this here cost me $5. Everything else I looked at there was very expensive. All the rest of the stuff I'm going to show you, including with these things, were $15. So here is this little item. Then I found this brace. Now, when I first looked at the brace, I thought, I basically, this is what caught my eye, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And again, he was giving such good prices on it I thought I'll just go ahead and take it home and see if I can't do something with it. But the ratcheting mechanism doesn't work. It releases completely. It doesn't just snap off, and so I think it's just a bunch of corrosion. I can still see a spring in there. There's a little lever that pushes up against these sets, so I think that can be cleaned and fixed up and made to work. The other thing about it is this handle. The wood handle's missing here, but I'm wondering if I can't come up with something to make that work. Then I came across this thing, and I don't know if this is just for stenciling or for printing, the old-fashioned prints, but I've also used these things for mica and pressing down plastics and things like that to get bubbles out of it. It's very, very heavy. At first I thought it was brass, but with the corrosion on it and everything, I think that's probably steel. But it's worth cleaning up. It really is in pretty good shape. I don't know if I can tell. I don't think there's bearings in there. I think it's just a bushing. But we can clean that up, oil it up, and that will make for a really good little tool. Then I found this brick hammer. Nothing super fancy about the brick hammer. It's a Stanley. I don't know where it's made. I can't tell that. But it was in such good shape, and I think he charged me 50 cents for it, so I had to get it. So I went ahead and picked that up. After that, I found this chisel. It's a socket chisel. I like the socket chisels. You can easily put a handle in there, and when you're pounding, it's actually seating that in there tighter and deeper. And so it's very, very rusted. I think there's something written right in there, but it's so rusted I can't tell, so we need to clean this off, maybe soak it. And I think though it's a nice hefty chisel, probably for timber framing, but I think it'll be worth cleaning up and fixing up, and so that'll be good. Then I found this little thing. Again, I got all of this, take this out, for $15. This, I don't see a brand name on it. It's nothing super fancy. It almost looks like it's a pop metal that the little Matchbox car toys were made out of. But it does say that it's made in the United States. Made in, yeah, I thought it was I thought there was a name there. It's just made in the US. There's a gear right there. It's all nice and sturdy. So I thought it would be worth it. I think this was $1 too. So I thought, let's just take it home, clean it up. It really works nice. It's got a good chuck on it. You won't be able to drill large holes with it, but it's still kind of neat. So I grabbed that. Now let me clear the table and reset the camera, and I'll show you the last thing I got at that yard sale. And this is the last thing I got at that yard sale. I've seen several of these around in the flea markets and antique stores, but they're rather expensive. I didn't want to spend the money on it, but this again came within the $15 of all that other stuff. So I got all that stuff for about half the price of what I've seen the cheapest of these in the antique stores. It's got a nice little handle on it. It works well, but if you can tell here, it is out of round. So I've got an idea of how I can fix that. So I'm hoping to get it home. There's a screw that is right here and on the same place on the other side, so the bearing comes off, and we can take this whole thing out, and I think I can clean up this base. It's a cast base. It might even be cast iron, but it is forged. It's very nice cast. I can't read what it says right here. I'll try to get a close-up picture, but if I'm reading this correctly, it looks like that says Aurora, Illinois, and I'm not really sure. And this up here says something to the effect, says manufacturing company. So if you guys know, and I think this is the, because I can see a the down here. So I don't know what this word is right here, but it would really be neat to know who it is that made this little sharpener. And if I can get it cleaned up and squared up and balanced, this will make a nice little tool. I've got an idea of how to tighten this up. I think I'm going to take a little pop can and make a shim and pop that on there so that we can have that set up there. Well guys, that was a lot of fun visiting those places, and it is amazing. Sometimes things surprise you. You're driving along, you see a yard sale or something, and a lot of times you got to stop, and that yard sale was so spread out and big, I thought there's got to be something there. And sure enough, you get a lot of stuff. So it helps to be patient, not buy everything you see at the antique stores, because you can find some of these things that you wouldn't necessarily expect. So again, enjoy the hunt and don't have to have everything that you find that you think is what you're wanting. Hey guys, I appreciate you stopping by and coming with me on this. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends who you think might enjoy this content. Really hope to see you on the next video. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and hit the bell notification, and you'll be able to get this content when I get these videos put up. I'm hoping in about 3 weeks to be able to be back home, and all of these things that we're collecting here in Pennsylvania, New York, and Ohio, we'll be able to start fixing them up, cleaning them up, and hope you join me on those as well. Again, have a great day. God bless.